All right, guys, here we are. Brand new Polestar 2. And let's take you on a little tour. Okay guys, so this right here is the Polestar 2 by obviously Polestar. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about what I love and what I don't like about this car, especially comparing it to the Tesla Model 3. Both run around the same price range. You're looking at about $55,000 and it's kind of exciting. So here we go. All right, so first thing you notice about this car is its sleek design. If you really look at it here, it's pretty cool. It's kind of boxy, but I like how it's rigid, right? Unlike the Model 3, which is definitely about aerodynamics, this car just didn't give one F. So I mean, that's a pro or a con, I don't know. It still gives you 240 miles, so take that or leave it. One thing I really enjoyed about this car actually is just kind of the feel. So it feels a little heavier, it feels sturdier to drive. My Model 3 felt like if I turned too hard, it'll fishtail, but this guy definitely gives me that nice, wider wheelbase kind of feel of a car. And so I do like that about this Polestar. So let me talk to you a little bit about some features or some cool, kind of unique little things about it. So the first thing that is pretty cool, we got this like little sticker here. It kind of shows like the description of what kilowatt or battery is. I think it's kind of cool. It makes it a little bit more futuristic, which is unique to the car. Coming up to the front of the car, I really like the minimal design. They went with this awesome grid pattern for their grille. And honestly, like, yeah, you can look at it and I mean, it looks like a different car. And I think that's kind of the vibe that they went for. They didn't want to make it look too generic and they didn't want to make it look too crazy, but it looks like something you would drive like on a different planet. So I'm a fan. I like it. So one of the things I did notice right off the bat for this car is once I got in it, I realized how basic the Model 3 is, if that makes any sense, right? The interior is just super minimal, which for some is amazing and for some it's not. For me in the beginning, my Model 3, I loved that. It was just super simple and it just gave out that perfect minimalistic vibe. And then now that I'm back in an electric vehicle that has like an actual dashboard, I miss it. Like I miss being able to just like look up and just see the dash on the car and see my map right in front of me instead of having to look to like a little off right every single time. I didn't think I would, but I really did. So that's definitely something I definitely miss in this car. So first thing you gotta notice about this car is that this is the key right here. Pretty small, it's like a little block, so it's kind of inconspicuous. The buttons are like, okay, they're kind of hard to access to be honest. It's kind of not my favorite thing. And to open the trunk, you press and hold it for like an hour and then it opens. So trunk's pretty ample. You get quite a bit of stuff. You can fit like a rocket stomp toy. We got a lot of stuff for the shoot here set up, but we have 2 check-in bags. You can probably fit like another carry-on or a couple backpacks on top. So it's got some good space. And so I'm a fan of the trunk. It's definitely more space than the Model 3, mainly because it is a full hatchback. And let's talk about some things I actually don't like about the Polestar 2, okay? One is its acceleration, just not as smooth as a Tesla, okay? 2, man, it's just not as smart. Like it doesn't have like full autopilot. It doesn't have the cameras that can check like when your blind spot detection. It just doesn't have a lot of like what you want coming from a Tesla. Now, if you're coming from any other car, then the features you'll find are pretty similar to what you have. But honestly, jumping to this feels like you just jumped down, right? It felt like you went from iPhone to Android. So aesthetically, I like a Polestar. I think if you could get a car like it, it turns heads, it's unique, it's different. Driving through Los Angeles, we saw maybe 1,000 Teslas and maybe 1 other Polestar. So it definitely stands out in the bunch. Now, when you go inside, it's pretty much when it falls apart. And we're kind of like run you through a little B-roll on what we really don't like. Let's start with this. First thing that we do like, and absolutely probably the only thing that I like about the car over Tesla is the fact that it has a Google Assistant and Google Maps built in. Like the fact that we were talking about some basketball roster and we just hit the Google Assistant, asked it a question, gave us the answer immediately. We didn't have to look through our phone, none of that. That was super awesome. After that, it's just much worse. The center console, it's huge. Like there's no reason that it's so big for nothing, right? And then all of a sudden I'm drinking and then Eli comes and pick him up, right? And I say, hey, where do you want to put your cup? And we realize there's no second cup holder until you open the entire center arm console to reveal it, and it just makes no sense. Maybe there's a way to do it, I don't know, but I couldn't figure it out. The other thing, the mirror is super sleek, but just a little too small, right? Like you really have to like dodge, dip, and duck to kind of get the right angle you want, just because it is a little bit smaller than a conventional mirror. And then by far the most annoying thing, which is pretty annoying because you use it every day, or at least you should use it every day, is your indicators, right? Like that, or blinkers, whatever. Your blinker sound is terrible. It sounds as if someone like got the normal indicator sound and just stuck a pillow over it and was just like suffocating it, and it was just doing its best to let you know it's working. And it was just a terrible choice of sound. So I'm definitely not a fan of that. And then just, I don't know, it just feels, besides the dash, it just feels like it's just the downgrade. Like everything is just too extra, it doesn't serve a purpose. The UI is great. I think they did a really good job on their UI, but Tesla just has it beat with software. It's just sleeker, it's quicker, it's smarter. Honestly, if you're thinking about Model 3 or a Polestar, unless you're going just for the aesthetics, Model 3 beats it all the way. So here's some shots of the car. Hope you guys enjoy.